A barely known starlet, drunk and reckless, stumbled onto the nation's top movie king. One bold but grab clip was all it took to rocket her onto the trending charts. By the floor-to-ceiling window, two figures tangled in dangerous intimacy. His breath burned against her neck, that low magnetic voice tingling in her ears. "How long have you coveted me? A year, 2, or even longer?" Lee Jio's cheeks flushed crimson, her eyes shimmering with teasing allure. "Take a guess." His gaze turned razor-sharp. In the next instant she was pinned hard against the icy glass. "Little Jio, since you've been drooling over me for so long, why bother with blind dates? Just marry me." His lazy drawl dripped with sinful temptation, while her drunken gaze grew hazier. The raw scent of hormones poured off his body, and she couldn't resist brushing her hand over his throat, feeling that Adam's apple shift under her touch. His breathing grew heavier as he leaned in inch by inch toward her lips. Lee Jio jolted awake from her spring dream, eyes snapping open. Clutching her head, she couldn't tell if it was the hangover or if the dream had just been too much. "I've lost it," she thought. How could she, Pei Shirsi's #1 anti-fan, dream about hooking up with him? Worse, he actually proposed to her in the dream. She had to be drunk out of her mind. Just then her phone exploded with a call and the voice on the other end went full blast. "Holy crap, you're insane. You actually slept with Pei Shirsi, and the whole world knows about it." Lee Jio rolled her eyes. "Yuchi, did you slam your head in a door? Scaring people with horror stories this early?" Yuchi shot back. "Excuse you? Haven't you checked the trending list? Girl, you're viral." A WeChat notification chimed and any trace of drowsiness vanished. She froze, staring in shock. Headlines screamed across the screen. Pei Shirsi's romance exposed. Movie king spends the night with a nobody. Pei Shirsi and Lee Jio share a passionate night. And the killer blow. An HD video that was ironclad proof. With trembling fingers, Lee Jio tapped open the video. The camera pointed straight at the floor-to-ceiling window in her bedroom. The atmosphere on screen was sizzling. She looked like the one taking the initiative while Pei Shirsi was clearly enjoying himself. She froze, nearly dropping her phone. It hit her. This wasn't some wild dream. Every moment from last night came rushing back. "Brother, can I touch your Adam's apple? And what if I say no?" Pei Shirsi's voice was low and teasing. "Then I'll punish you." The next instant, Lee Jio angrily pinched his butt. The word brother echoing in her own voice nearly made her combust on the spot. Too humiliating. She actually called him brother. On the phone, Yuchi was almost screaming, "Girl, calm down. Weren't you supposed to be on a blind date last night? How did it turn into sleeping with the movie king?" Lee Jio protested, flustered. "The guy stood me up, so I went drinking alone. Who knew I'd run into Pei Shirsi and then black out?" Yuchi was over the moon. "Oh my god. You two bickered for years and finally made up. At rocket launch speed, no less. What the hell? We're innocent. Nothing happened. And Yuchi, aren't your priorities messed up? As my agent and my best friend, shouldn't you be controlling the PR fallout instead of gossiping?" But Yuchi only teased harder. "Then go find Pei Shirsi yourself. A word from a top star carries weight. And one last question. What exactly did his butt feel like?" Just as Yuchi was teasing Lee Jio, an even bigger bombshell dropped. The love letters Lee Jio wrote to Pei Shirsi back in school were leaked. The awkward, youthful confessions came flooding back. Photos full of little star filters and cringe-worthy declarations hidden in those stars. Enough to blind anyone scrolling through. Mortified, Lee Jio sprang to her feet and stormed off. Who leaked these relics? There was only one other person who could. Pei Shirsi. Without thinking, she barreled over to Pei Shirsi's place next door and shouted at his door. "Pei Shirsi, I'll strangle you." Her ruckus woke him. Bleary-eyed from sleep, he answered the door and still looked impossibly handsome. Before he could react, Lee Jio launched herself at him, pinning him down and unloading a furious barrage. Accusations, questions, and denial all at once. Pinching his throat, she spat, "Go to hell." Pei Shirsi just gave a crooked, charming smile. "Morning," he drawled, amused, "my beautiful Persian cat." Her fingers tightened on his neck, feeling the faint tremor of his vocal cords and the rise and fall of his Adam's apple sent a jolt through her fingertips, an electric shock that made her yank her hand back instinctively. In the next second her wrist was caught. Pei Shirsi's eyes curved at the corners and a smile tugged at his mouth. Clearly it was he who'd had the upper hand last night, yet here she was, blowing up at him first thing in the morning. "Hey Shirsi, are you crazy?" Lee Jio blurted as she scrambled out of his palm. "Who wants to take advantage of you? You're but dirted my hand, shameless." He only chuckled and pulled her close at the waist as he sat up slowly. "So you touched me and you still think you lost out?" The old flirt was teasing her again at dawn. Lee Jio panicked and tried to turn away, but he leaned even closer. She could hear his breath, like a promise of a kiss any second now. Pei Shirsi raised an eyebrow. Bad texture or not perky enough? Lee Jio felt like she was losing her mind. But. She shoved at him. "Perky my ass. Flat as a raisin." "Is that so?" Pei Shirsi let go of her waist and fell back, casting a lazy sidelong look her way. The little Persian cat who feared sparking his desire was still hoisted on his hips, sitting there as if she might ignite at any moment. She scrambled off in a hurry and shoved aside. "I only sat on you because I was mad. Don't try to change the subject." "Give me the stuff back," she snapped, grabbing his collar. Pei Shirsi looked genuinely puzzled. "What now?" "The love letters." Lee Jio looked like she wanted to throttle him. After a beat of silence, he smirked and teased, "So you had a crush on me, huh?" Their eyes locked, the awkwardness was off the charts. Lee Jio's voice shot up. "Who the hell has a crush on you? That was a love letter I wrote to a dog. Give it back." Pei Shirsi's expression shifted, his hand straightening his pajama collar. "Never seen the thing." "Save your spicy twist *T. Lee Jio shouted, shaking him furiously. "It's definitely with you. Pei Shirsi, you're a damn dog. Tossing my letter in the trash back then wasn't enough. You had to drag it out now to humiliate me, make my youthful crush a joke." Ever since she saw that letter dumped in the garbage, she'd buried those feelings. Who knew this flashy peacock would one day dig it up? She ranted nonstop while Pei Shirsi just sat there dazed, a flicker of doubt creeping in. Had he actually missed something back then? He stared blankly at Lee Jio, pinning him down, utterly confused about this so-called love letter. Then suddenly his phone rang. He picked up. On the other end, his agent Qin Huayu roared, "Holy *T Pei. Are you insane? You actually pulled a one-night stand." "I don't do one-night stands," Pei Shirsi shot back, the words sounding like they were meant for Lee Jio's ears. Qin Huayu came back swinging with hard proof. "There's HD video everywhere. The whole damn universe knows. Now spill. Who's the woman that grabbed your ass last night?" Lee Jio's back stiffened and she nervously gnawed on her fingers. Pei Shirsi cast her a sidelong look, eyes glinting with mockery. "Just a little Persian cat who's good at tricking me." Qin Huayu sounded like he was tearing his hair out, no mood for jokes. "Check the trending feed now. I'm coming over." With that he hung up. Lee Jio never expected Pei Shirsi hadn't checked the trending feed. She jumped to conclusions. He really didn't know about the letters. A flush of being caught washed over her. She tried to bolt, but someone caught her ankle. The next second Pei Shirsi dragged her back. He sat there half amused and half exasperated, like he'd queued up the best part, fingers scrolling through his phone as if savoring a trailer. Lee Jio lunged to snatch the device. "Don't you dare," she cried. But Pei Shirsi's limbs were too long. He hoisted the phone above his head. "I'm gonna watch." She leapt up to grab it, only to have her slim waist wrapped in his arm. The room tilted. She tumbled onto the soft bed and found herself pinned beneath him. After a beat he said, cool as ever, "Behave. Don't make a scene." He kept scrolling, amusement in his voice. "That love letter. You wrote it so well I couldn't stop reading." Shame crashed over her and she thrashed to break free. "Pei Shirsi, you're not allowed to read that." He read under his breath. "The first time I saw the universe was when our eyes met. Is that so? Funny, I remember our first eye contact. When you were born and I held you and you greeted me with that little stinker of a surprise. That was your universe too, wasn't it?" "Pei Shirsi, you actually said that out loud." "Shut up," she snapped, hair on end. He continued, "Your lips are beautiful, made for saying, 'I love you,' and even more for kissing." That line set her off. She felt like throttling him. Instead he pulled her in tight and murmured inches from her face. "Made for kissing, huh? Let me give you the chance." With that, his lips inched closer, close enough that the next second could be the one where they met. Lee Jio snapped, humiliation boiling over. She snatched the pillow behind Pei Shirsi and slammed it onto his face. Pei Shirsi, I'll smother you to death. He caught her wrists, his eyes gleaming with playful delight. Little Jiu, so you really have been coveting your big brother all this time? In your dreams, she roared. Pei Shirsi drawled back. Then who was it last night, whining brother? Asking for kisses and hugs and a lift, stroking my Adam's apple and squeezing my ass? Li Jiu's face burned with fury while he looked smug. My little sister's been secretly in love with me all this time? What an honor. Shut up. She wanted to slap him, her voice cracking as she yelled, It was your Adam's apple that made the first move. You knew I'm obsessed with it and you used it to tempt me on purpose. Pei Shirsi chuckled, holding his phone up to her eyes. And what about this? On the screen, the love letter. Li Jiu snapped back. That was me being young and blind. Who would actually fall for a peacock like you? Handsome face aside, you just had to strut around flashing it everywhere. She finally mumbled after holding it in. So what if I liked you? That was the past. The moment I saw you toss that bottle in the trash, I gave up on you completely. Pei Shirsi gave a low laugh and crooked a finger lazily at her. Come here, I'll show you how badly you've wronged me. Curiosity drew her closer. One glance and she was instantly livid. The screen showed Peach TV Live. Top-tier influencer Su Fuiying, tears in her eyes, apologizing. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause so much trouble for Pei Shirsi and everyone. She blamed the leak on her assistant and announced the assistant had been fired. The chat erupted. All the hate was aimed at Li Jiu. You little nobody, how dare you go after the movie king? Her handwriting is trash. Li Jiu was speechless. Did people run out of insults or what? Why roast my handwriting? As it turned out, Su Fuiying and Li Jiu had gone to middle school together, and they'd never gotten along. Back then Su Fuiying wore princess dresses and waited for compliments, while Li Jiu rocked a sweet but edgy anti-fan hoodie that stole every boy's attention, and she'd thrown shade, pretty face, cheap tricks. Su Fuiying always tried to win but kept coming up short. Now she'd found the perfect weapon, the letters, to bury Li Jiu. Of course, it was all for show. Li Jiu's handwriting wasn't that bad and she was only 14 at the time. Pei Shirsi smirked. So you had a crush on me at 14? Still, you've got it wrong. He pulled her close by the waist and murmured in her ear, I never saw the letter. I never threw it in the trash. The tension spiked. Li Jiu pushed him away frantically. Whether you threw it or not, I have zero interest in you, now. With that she clawed off the bed, fired up. That white lily's caused enough trouble. Time for me to set things right and tear her down. Pei Shirsi watched her retreat with nothing but affectionate amusement, a fond smile playing on his lips. Right then Qin Huayu barreled up to the door about to knock. Li Jiu shot out like a cannon, huffing, What the hell is this? And brushed past him in a hurry. Qin Huayu stumbled into the villa, still rattled, eyes darting around, only to see Pei Shirsi sauntering down the stairs, utterly unbothered. His white shirt hung open, revealing a sculpted 8-pack. He let out a lazy chuckle. Morning. Qin Huayu was equal parts exasperated and incredulous. Dude, are you trying to be scandalous first thing? Who was that woman who just left your place? Pei Shirsi calmly fastened a button. You're blind, huh? Just finished snacking on the gossip and you can't even ID the main actor. Qin Huayu looked like he swallowed a bug. She was your one night, what? Pei, aren't you usually careful about your private life? Pei Shirsi toyed with the bowl of preserved plums on the table and shrugged. This time I didn't hold back. He added with a wry smile that for years he'd assumed she'd rejected him so completely he never dared. Had I known about the letters, I wouldn't have held back last night. I should have just kissed her senseless. He said it with a trace of something like regret. Qin Huayu said the PR statement was ready. Just post it on Weibo and clear things up, say the video was malicious deepfake. He even sent the draft to Pei Shirsi. But Pei Shirsi, unbothered, popped another plum into his mouth. Not posting. Qin Huayu panicked. If you don't, how do we kill the rumor? Pei Shirsi answered calmly. If I clear it up, how am I supposed to chase her? Chase. Qin Huayu echoed before choking on his words. Chase who? Pei Shirsi just smiled, offering no answer. Qin Huayu sucked in a breath. Pei, don't mess with me. Top stars don't get to date that easy. And what about your white moonlight? If you go after someone else, what about her? Mid-sentence, realization hit him. His eyes went wide as saucers. Don't tell me. Lee Jio is that childhood sweetheart you've pined after for years. Only she thinks you're her mortal enemy. He groaned, clutching his head. Damn, too much info today. Give me a second. Pei Shirsi kindly held out a plum. Here, calm down. This little green plum is pretty sweet. Qin Huayu reached for it, only to watch Pei Shirsi toss it into his own mouth. Too bad. Mine. Holy shit, he's gone. My movie king's completely lost it. Qin Huayu looked utterly defeated. Su Fuiying's coy remarks only fanned the flames, pushing the gossip crowd into another frenzy. Some even started shipping her with movie king Pei. She put on a fake shy act. Oh no, don't say that. But the way she reveled in it made people want to slap her. Back in the day, she too had a crush on Pei Shirsi, but it was always unrequited. One time she stumbled upon Lee Jio's love letter to him and snatched it when no one was looking, tossing it straight into the trash. Later, worried someone might find it, she hid it away. She never expected it to come in handy years later. Just then, her live stream suddenly cut to black. While she was still stunned, the feed switched into PK mode. A cool, cocky voice rang out. Little White Lotus with bones, that's special. Which episode of Strange Tales did you crawl out of? The chat exploded. Holy ***** T Lee Jio, you dare show your face here? Lee Jio leaned back lazily. Babes, let's do a PK. Not asking, just telling. Grab your popcorn and enjoy the show. Su Fuiying instantly switched into her pitiful act. I didn't even start this PK. Lee Jio raised a contract and drawled. Who cares? I bought this platform. As the new CEO, if I want someone in a PK, they're in. The live stream audience gasped in unison. Lee Jio is bold. A sharp-eyed viewer noticed something new. Their blue verified badge had appeared on Lee Jio's livestream account, and the bio now read, Current CEO of Peach TV. Moments later, the platform's official account launched 10 rockets in her chat, an all-out celebration for the network's new CEO. The gossip crowd went ballistic, mouths open. She dared roast our Golden Circle heiress? Do you think the conglomerate won't back her up? Su Fuiying, sensing the tide turning, instantly switched to a pitiful, tearful act. Lee Jio, I apologized already. Please don't blame me for the letter leak. I didn't mean it. Lee Jio didn't buy a second of it. You poke into people's private lives and then leak them? That's beyond meddling. Talk about shameless. Then Lee Jio unleashed a scorched earth roast. No profanity, just surgical and merciless. Su Fuiying was stripped bare by the backlash, tears streaming as she shoved blame onto her assistant and begged for mercy. I'll compensate her, please stop. Lee Jio snorted. Oh please. You want me to stop? Maybe I should tattoo your name on my back as a souvenir. The audience flipped. First pity, then anger. Until the comment section exploded with venomous takes on both sides. Suddenly, a bold notification flashed across the stream. Holy crap. Big Bro just posted on Weibo. Lee Jio's heart skipped. She snatched up her phone. Sure enough, it was trending at #1 again. Great, she thought. What stunt is he pulling now? With trembling fingers, she opened it. Pei Shirsi on his verified account had at Ed Su Fuiying. Thief. Return my love letter. One clean hit. The movie king's clapback was brutal and satisfying. Su Fuiying froze. She dared to bind herself to his name because she believed he'd never take Lee Jio's side. But now, this move practically screamed public confession. Panic surged. She scrambled to shut down the stream before the hate could catch fire. But before she could log out, her account was forcibly terminated. She sat there dumbfounded, looking like someone caught with no toilet paper in the worst possible moment. After roasting the White Lotus, Lee Jio ended her stream in high spirits. But then, a video call from her mother. Pick up or not? With trembling fingers, she hit accept. On screen, her mom smirked. Well, my little Jio. Skipped your blind date, but had time to grab Pei Shirsi's butt? Impressive. Lee Jio wanted to die on the spot. So, good grip? Nice and firm? You swore you wouldn't marry, but looks like you've already chosen your man. How about we just hold the wedding tomorrow? Lee Jio's Persian cat mode instantly exploded. No. I don't want him. If he were the last man on earth, I still wouldn't marry him. Her mother rolled her eyes and cut her off coldly. Bring Pei Shirsi home for dinner tomorrow. If not, the Lee and Pei families will announce your engagement immediately. One force subdues another. Before Li Jiao could even come up with a rebuttal, her iron-willed mother had already hung up. In this brutal 5G era, the keyboard warriors never rest. With the whole internet against her, Li Jiao turned to her bestie Yu Meiren for rescue. Moments later, she clung to Yu, who had rushed over to spectate, and sobbed, "Sis, save me. Earth can't contain me anymore. Ship me straight to Planet Happy, please." Yu chuckled, "Relax, sis. Marrying Pei Shirsi wouldn't exactly be a loss." Li Jiao wailed, "If I marry him, I'll cry myself to death. You know my iron-willed mom, she never backs down. If I don't run, it'll be Day 1 engagement, Day 2 marriage license, Day 3 wedding, Day 4 triplets." The thought alone made Li Jiao's scalp tingle. She grabbed Yu's sleeve in panic. "Help me. I can't let them drag me around like a puppet." Yu stared at her in disbelief. "You sure about this?" Seeing Li Jiao's fierce nod, Yu crossed her legs smugly. "Good. Lucky for you, your sis has a plan." Li Jiao's ears perked up instantly. "Spill it." Yu drawled, "Reality dating show." Meanwhile, the guy who'd caused the whole mess, Pei Shirsi, was oddly savoring his downtime, a small, satisfied smile tugging at his lips. By contrast, his agent Qin Huayu was running ragged, handling reporters on one line and firefighting the Li Jiao PR blaze on the other. Qin tried to warn him, "Bro, you're putting in real feelings. She might not feel the same, maybe take a look for yourself." He pointed at the feed. Li Jiao signed up for the next romantic reality show. Pei Shirsi just scrolled comments with a distant look, not seeming to register the plan. Qin got serious. "That show's notorious. They play fast and dirty. There's a lot of borderline stunts." Pei Shirsi gave a half smirk. "Fine. So she's the sort to fake feelings. My ass was touched, but she'll fall in love with someone else." His face hardened. "No way I let her have that. Postpone the movie. Tell production I'm taking that show." Qin nearly choked. "Pei, you're digging a bigger hole. When did you ever hear of a top star doing a dating show? Have you thought about the fallout?" Pei Shirsi shrugged and smiled. "Then I'll set the precedent." Qin softened, earnest. "Think about this. If you do that, you risk losing your top-tier status. Is Li Jiao worth that?" Pei Shirsi laughed lightly. He'd never played the idol card, never courted the wife fan crowd, so he didn't care about that particular risk. Qin opened his mouth to argue, but Pei Shirsi cut him off in a low voice. "Qin, you know I've been hooked on her for ages. I can't stand seeing her do well with someone else. Even staged romance pisses me off." Premiere day of the dating show arrived. The host cut to the chase. "Let's welcome our first female guest, Li Jiao." The live stream chat went wild. Haters spamming memes and dancing on her supposed grave. A black-clad figure stepped into frame. Calm and poised, Li Jiao said, "Hello everyone. First official meeting. I'm Li Jiao." The moment her face hit the screen, droves of beauty fans logged in, floored by her stunning looks. Following the cameraman's cue, she sat down for the pre-show interview. "I'm ready," she said coolly. "Let's start." The host asked, "So Ms. Li, are you currently single?" She raised a brow. "Of course. Otherwise what? Come here to livestream cheating. Do you have a crush right now?" "Nope. They're all just two-legged carbon-based organisms. What's there to like?" "When was your last kiss?" Li Jiao rolled her eyes. "Never. Got a problem with that. How many boyfriends have you had?" She stayed silent. The host pressed, "Too many to count?" Fed up with the shallow questions, Li Jiao snapped. "Ever heard of basic manners? Being single since birth doesn't need a world announcement." The host, embarrassed, asked the final question. "Then, what type of man do you like?" Li Jiao smirked. "I don't like men." Meanwhile, in another studio, Pei Shirsi was answering the exact same set of questions Li Jiao had faced. He rattled off in one breath. Single. Never dated. First kiss still intact, including on screen. The host nearly lost composure staring at him. No wonder he's the movie king. This face is lethal. Blushing, she asked, "One last question. What kind of girl do you like?" Pei Shirsi lifted his gaze, his eyes drifting toward the slim figure in the studio next door. With a faint smirk, he replied casually, "If it's her, any kind." Who is it?" The live stream chat exploded, spamming frantically to uncover the identity of the mystery her. The Q&A wrapped up and the host announced, "Now, please hand over the token of affection you've prepared for the female guest." Pei Shirsi's expression lit with anticipation as he carefully passed a white gift box to the staff. Moments later, Li Jiu picked up a slice of cilantro cake so green it looked radioactive. Her face screamed, surprise. Without hesitation she chose it. The two female guests beside her froze in disbelief. The live stream chat exploded with commentary. Meanwhile, Su Fuiying picked a necktie. She'd already dug up intel that one of the male guests was the heir of the Xing family in Beijing's elite circle. If she could latch onto that capital, even a wild chicken could transform into a phoenix, and she was dying to stomp Li Jiu beneath her heels. The last female guest, Lu Yu, chose a microphone to match her own career. "Congratulations everyone," said the director Jiang Feng, beaming. "Now that you've picked your tokens, your CP pairs are set. Next, you'll spend 7 days and 6 nights in Paris as simulated couples." He was practically giddy himself. "This is next stop, encounter. Take your tokens and follow the romantic clues to meet your assigned partner." Just then, Li Jiu raised her hand, pointing at an empty plate. "Director, what if my tokens already gone?" The crew scrambled to explain the absurd scene. "She picked the cilantro cake and, well, she ate the whole thing while you were reading the rules." The director was speechless, utterly defeated. "Fine. Just carry the empty box." Carrying her empty box, Li Jiu followed the crew into the next studio. For once, she behaved and stepped inside. The staff shut the door behind her. Suddenly, snap. Everything went dark. The hell? What's going on? Meanwhile, the director grinned at the monitors. "Let's see you handle this. Eat your token, will you? I'll scare the life out of you." Li Jiu blinked her wide eyes at the camera. "Hey, did you guys forget to pay the electric bill?" That quip nearly gave the director a heart attack. He barked, "Fine, bring out the big guns." A snake lunged from the shadows, tongue flicking as it slithered toward her. Holy sh*t, that jump scared me. Even viewers at home recoiled, and in the other live streams Su Fuiying practically dropped to her knees. Li Jiu, though, didn't flinch. Instead, she leaned closer and patted it. "Huh, just 3D effects. Pretty realistic, though." Since that didn't work, the crew unleashed Wave 2, swarms of buzzing flies filled the room. For anyone with trypophobia, it was nightmare fuel. Across the hall, Lu Yu was shrieking and hopping in panic. Li Jiu just waved lazily. "Director, you're really running out of material." Just then, a creepy doorbell rang outside. Li Jiu froze mid-step. Listening closely, it sounded like crying, and then came a bloody doll-like figure. Her body went rigid. Clutching her gift box, she stood rooted to the spot. "Stay calm. Fake. All fake." She forced herself to breathe, whispering the mantra. She edged closer to the door. The crying grew sharper. A chilling voice followed. "Anyone there? I'm coming in." Creak. The door swung open and a little girl with a blood-covered face walked in. Li Jiu shrieked, flung the box away and bolted. In the pitch-black studio, she couldn't see a thing. Worse, that eerie laughter echoed behind her. "Li Jiu, I'm coming to get you." Panicked, she stumbled blindly, only to crash into a solid, heated chest. The crisp scent of cedarwood filled her senses, wrapping her in sudden safety. Instinctively, she leapt onto him, clinging tight. Save me, there's a ghost." Long, clean fingers locked around her waist. A low voice brushed her ear, "Don't be scared." Her nerves eased, but she still buried her face in his neck, eyes squeezed shut. The livestream chat went berserk, shipping them like crazy. But still, no shot of Pei Shirsi's face. The director smirked behind the scenes. Top star appearances are always saved for the finale. The room stayed pitch black, with eerie blue flames flickering in the corners. Meanwhile, Su Fuiying and Lu Yu had already finished their trials and reunited with their partners. The director's voice boomed through the speakers. "Congratulations, all 3 couples have officially met. Next, the encounter room will open. Work together to find the key that leads to your new villa." Li Jiu instantly gave up. "Nope, I'm not looking. I'm scared of ghosts." But the director's smug voice followed. "This is a 10-minute escape room. Fail to finish on time, and you'll face a super scary punishment." "What the hell, there's a timer." Li Jiu cursed the show under her breath, regretting signing up at all. She clung to Pei Shirsi, wailing, "Big bro, save me," as if she'd just sworn loyalty to a gang leader. "Big bro." Pei Shirsi arched a brow, giving her a look that said, "Really?" She hadn't even recognized his voice. "Big bro, huh? Fine, then let go." He loosened his grip. Panic-stricken, Li Jiu yelped, No, wait. Brother. Brother." Clearly pleased with the switch, Pei Shirsi pulled her right back into his arms. Li Jiu exhaled in relief, rolling her eyes inwardly. Figures. All men are the same, just like that peacock Pei Shirsi eating up these cheesy titles. She snapped, "Hurry up and find the damn key. I don't want whatever horror punishment you've got planned." Pei Shirsi leaned down, voice low and husky, "If you're scared, hold on tighter. Don't open your eyes." Li Jiu froze. That voice, why did it sound so familiar? Li Jiu curled up in Pei Shirsi's arms, frozen stiff, while that creepy nursery rhyme kept looping in the background. She cautiously peeked up, and a bloody ghost head dropped from the ceiling, making her jolt so hard her whole body shivered. Instantly, she clung tighter and screamed, "Hurry up and find the key." Pei Shirsi only chuckled lazily, not in any rush. Opportunities like this, Li Jiu throwing herself into his arms, didn't come often. He intended to savor it. Sensitive as always, Li Jiu caught the tremor in his chest and snapped, "You're laughing." Pei Shirsi finally loosened his grip on her waist and fumbled around in the dark for the key. Puffing her cheeks, Li Jiu accused, "You're totally laughing at me." "Stop it." He murmured back, "I'm not laughing at you." "Yes, you are." The childish bickering went on for nearly 5 minutes, until the whole set felt overloaded with sugar. At last, Pei Shirsi sighed. "Fine. I'm laughing. Then why don't you open your eyes and find it yourself?" "No way." Li Jiu refused outright, choosing instead to quietly lean on his shoulder. Her warm breath rose and fell against the side of his neck, intimate and teasing. And just like that, the mighty movie king's face flushed bright red, like a teenage boy caught off guard. Li Jiu started grumbling, "This is all Pei Shirsi's fault. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't be suffering in this haunted dump." Pei Shirsi thought darkly, "Ungrateful little kitten. Maybe I should have just let the ghost scare you to tears." Just then he reached into the chest of a life-size doll. Jackpot, the key was there. The creepy nursery rhyme cut off instantly. Though the room was still pitch black, Li Jiu lit up, opened her eyes and demanded to be put down. Pei Shirsi gave her a slow glance at the hands still looped around his neck. "Funny. Seems like you're the one who won't let go." Without hesitation, Li Jiu dropped her grip, cold and decisive. Use and toss, no hesitation. Pei Shirsi was left speechless. At that moment, the director's voice boomed, "Congratulations. All 3 couples have successfully found their keys." Li Jiu finally exhaled in relief. Thank God, no more ghosts. Then curiosity hit. Who exactly was this man? She tilted her head, greeting politely, "Hi, I'm Li Jiu. And you are?" Pei Shirsi pressed his lips together, staying silent for a moment. "Seriously? She still hasn't recognized me?" Li Jiu's round eyes darted left and right, completely lost. She honestly didn't recognize him. At that moment, Pei Shirsi pushed the door open and a beam of light pierced through. Li Jiu instinctively raised her hand to shield her eyes. The light fell across Pei Shirsi's sharp features, making him look even more striking. He leaned on the doorframe, tilting his head to signal her to go out first. Li Jiu looked up and froze. That devilishly familiar face was right in front of her. Pei Shirsi leaned in close, his deep magnetic voice buzzing like static in her ear. "I'm Pei Shirsi." Unfortunately, the mic failed to pick it up. Li Jiu screamed, louder and shriller than when she saw the ghosts. "Why is it you again?" She bolted. He chased, a classic No Way Out scene. The livestream chat went insane. Who the hell is it? I paid for VIP and got nothing." Barrage after barrage flew, furious that the show hid both his face and his voice. Director Jiang Feng was smug. He wanted to drag out the suspense before the big reveal. But the next second, Li Jiu shot off like a gust of wind. Fast enough the cameraman couldn't keep up. She ran. Jiang Feng was stunned, then barked, "Chase her. Now." Li Jiu kept fleeing like she was escaping for her life, never once looking back. The cameraman panted after her, shouting, Miss Lee, why are you running? In her mind, one thought echoed. If I don't run, I'm doomed. Watching Lee Jiao completely lose it, director Jiang Feng was dumbfounded. Is this gonna be the first flop of my career? The next second, furious, he grabbed a loudspeaker and roared with full force, shaking the entire set. Pei Shirsi. The laughing audience went dead silent, all with question mark faces. Who? Director, say that again if you dare. Finally, the camera cut to the mysterious male guest's face. Pei Shirsi casually lifted his head, that legendary face of the entertainment industry crashing into the viewer's eyes. Hello everyone, I'm Pei Shirsi. Instantly, the audience's smiles froze. The livestream chat went into meltdown, spamming. Dead. I'm dead. Jiang Feng, looking utterly wronged, marched up to him with the loudspeaker. Explain yourself. What the hell did you say to Li Jiao? She bolted like she saw a ghost. Pei Shirsi put on a victim's look. Director, you just lost a guest. I got dumped by my girlfriend on live TV. My poor little heart is shattered. But Jiang Feng wasn't having it. I don't care. She ran because of you. You're paying for this. Pei Shirsi stayed calm, lips curling into a smirk. Relax. He's mine. I'll coax her back myself. Jiang Feng, fuming, waved his hand. You two have half an hour. By then, you better bring her back to the love villa. Pei Shirsi agreed with a smile, and the camera cut off mercilessly. After running non-stop, Li Jiao was exhausted. Her foot injured, she slumped onto a bench in the corner of the garden. Checking the blister rubbed raw by her high heels, she muttered under her breath. All because of that damn Pei Shirsi. A lazy chuckle drifted over, making her scalp tingle on reflex. She looked up, and sure enough, not far away, Pei Shirsi stood with lips slightly curved. Does it hurt? He just stood there, perfectly still like a painting. Seriously, does he have to look that good? Snapping back to her senses, Li Jiao pointed at him. None of your business, you're the culprit. If it weren't for Pei Shirsi, she wouldn't be in this mess. First the haunted house livestream, and now bolting in front of a nationwide audience. Utter humiliation launched straight into outer space. Fueled by anger, she tried to stand and fight him, but her foot gave out and she collapsed back onto the bench. A shadow fell over her. Pei Shirsi knelt down on one knee, his long fingers gently wrapping around her ankle. Don't move. Let me see. Li Jiao's cheeks flushed pink. Looking closely, she realized. This man's attentiveness was dangerously heart-melting. Pei Shirsi carefully slipped off Li Jiao's high heels and inspected the wound on her heel. Li Jiao shot back. Why'd you chase me here? Just to laugh at me for running like a fool and getting hurt. Pei Shirsi lifted his gaze, a flicker of concern in his eyes. You knew you'd get hurt and you still ran. But the next second his tone flipped. Funny, in the haunted house you clung to me so sweetly. Now you're in such a rush. Li Jiao forced down the urge to explode. Knew it, this guy never has good intentions. I swear I could punch him. She turned her head with a sharp huff. All your fault. You know I was bitten by a dog when I was little. Seeing you just triggers that reflex. Can't you at least try acting human? Pei Shirsi fell silent. Great. I'm a dog now? If I really were, that night you'd already be chewed to pieces. Suddenly, curiosity slipped out of Li Jiao's mouth. Why are you even here? Don't you have a perfectly good movie to shoot? What are you doing in a dating show? A smug glint crossed Pei Shirsi's face. He smiled, lifting his eyes against the light. So my little Jiao actually cares about her brother's schedule? God, how can a man look this good while being so shameless? Li Jiao froze for a couple of seconds, then quickly averted her gaze. Who cares about you? Huffing, she added, I only came because I thought you'd never join a dating show. But no, you had to show up, and worse, they paired us together. Suddenly Li Jiao snapped to it, eyes wide. Oh, I get it. Pei Shirsi, you bailed on a movie to join a dating show, remembered I like cilantro and planted that cilantro cake to bait me. What looks like coincidence was actually a calculated move. Pei Shirsi felt a flicker of excitement and a touch of nerves. He was waiting for her reaction. But of course Li Jiao didn't play along like a normal person. She snapped at him. Are you trying to get me killed here? Pei Shirsi was left speechless. How did she even think of that? Li Jiao went on, dismantling it piece by piece. I came on this show to clear the rumor. Instead you show up and publicly humiliate me in front of the whole country. Now your stans are ripping me apart, my haters are baying, keyboard warriors are all over me. My comeback's dead. Oh Pei Shirsi, you're so cruel. Pei Shirsi gave her a loaded look. Cruel? I want you to be mine, so I came and took care of you. Then he rummaged in his pocket and produced a bandage. A tiny plaster with a cartoon bunny, carefully pressing it onto her ankle. Li Jio watched the cute little bunny bandage and realized he'd prepared for this. Flushed, she murmured a shy, thank you. The next second, childish as ever, Pei Shirsi reached out and gave the swing chair a little push. Li Jio lost her balance and yelped, "What are you doing?" Bracing both hands on the swing, Pei Shirsi leaned in slowly, his voice low, "Payback from a past life." Their eyes locked and the air between them turned thick with tension. Staring at the devastatingly handsome man in front of her, Li Jio's cheeks burned, her heartbeat racing. Pei Shirsi offered his hand, inviting her to go back. Li Jio rolled her big eyes with stubborn defiance. "Go back for what? To get roasted alive by your fangirls." Pei Shirsi chuckled. "So that's why you bolted earlier. Turns out you're scared of hate comments." Li Jio bristled. "Scared? Please. It's called strategy. You see a pit ahead, you dodge it. Or is that head on your shoulders just for decoration?" Pei Shirsi leaned closer without missing a beat. "Looks pretty good as decoration." Li Jio clenched her fists. "Pei Shirsi, I swear I'll smack you. You still have time to joke." He shot him a sharp look. "Are you insane?" Pei Shirsi smiled lazily. "Yeah. Sick and only you're the cure." His cheesy pickup line was so corny it left Li Jio speechless. For a moment she wondered if the movie king had lost his mind. Snapping her head away, she waved him off. "Forget it. I'm not going. Go do your fake romance with someone else. Give me." Impossible. Dating her nemesis on a live show? The ultimate social death. Hard pass, no thanks. Pei Shirsi nodded and casually pulled out his phone. "Fine, let Su Fuiying and Xing Hao shame you live on air," he said. He swiped the screen. Xing Hao was already smirking into the camera. "You probably didn't know. We went on a blind date. Obviously I passed. Didn't expect her to chase it all the way onto the show." Li Jio snapped, furious. "Who the hell chased you? What a delusional dude." Barefoot, she lunged forward, ripped the phone from his hand, and watched Su Fuiying's calculated smile on the screen. What a coincidence. "We were middle schoolers. She always chased, stuck to teacher Pei like glue. Nothing's changed." Li Jio erupted. "What nonsense. Even if I followed someone, it'd be to kick his ass." Pei Shirsi leaned close and chuckled in her ear as if confirming the rumor. "She says you were the one chasing love." Enraged, Li Jio fired back. "You egg him on instead of defending me. Little white lily and scumbag. Cooking up lies behind my back? I'll smash their skulls." Determined to take them down, she refused to quit the show. Straightening her makeup with a flare of pride, she stormed toward the studio. Pei Shirsi raised an eyebrow, watching her march off. He smiled and sent Director Jiang a voice note. "Director, I've calmed her down. But honestly, with this hot-headed, pampered little Persian cat, provocation works better than flattery." Meanwhile, 4 of the guests had gathered in the villa. Su Fuiying with Xing Hao and Lu Yu with Qi Yu, lounging on the sofa, chatting casually. Su Fuiying casually brought up some so-called school days between Li Jio and Pei Shirsi, adding fuel to the fire. "She's always been like that, chasing after him since we were kids." The live stream immediately blew up with trolls, praising Su Fuiying while dragging Li Jio. Su Fuiying tilted her head toward the staff. "Why isn't Li Jio back yet? Did she fight with her partner already?" Xing Hao took a sip of tea, smirking. "Probably because she wasn't matched with me. Guess she's disappointed." Just then, bang. The door swung open and Li Jio stormed in. Her voice rang out clear and sharp. "If the east doesn't shine, the west will. Dumbass, whatever shape you are, that's the shape you'll stay. How many drinks does it take to get our young master Xing this trashed?" The moment she entered, Xing Hao was struck dumb by her stunning beauty. Back at that blind date, he hadn't even seen her face. Now seeing the real deal, he regretted it instantly. Sure, her family background wasn't impressive and she wasn't famous in showbiz, but her looks and figure? Absolutely flawless. Xing Hao quickly tucked away his dirty thoughts, stood up and tried to play nice. "Miss Li, didn't expect we'd meet again." Li Jio gave him a dismissive smile. "Drunk already, Xing Xiao? We've never met. If I remember right, I ditched that blind date. Today's our first meeting." His lie exposed, Xing Hao froze, embarrassed, then scrambled for a counterattack. Must be all those blind dates, Miss Li. You probably got me mixed up. The audience was stunned. Who's lying here? Seeing the awkward silence, Su Fuiying quickly jumped in to shield Xing Hao. Right, Ah Hao would never need to lie. Li Jiu smirked, her gaze cutting towards Su Fuiying. Miss Su, are you really that eager to pick up trash? Su Fuiying's face stiffened at a loss for words. But Li Jiu never stopped at just one strike. Xing Shao is the trash I tossed out on that blind date. Now the matchmakers strung you two together. Guess that's what you call proper waste sorting. Xing Hao flushed with anger, but he couldn't come up with a comeback. Su Fuiying, sensing danger, instantly flipped to her White Lotus act, teary-eyed, stepping closer to Li Jiu. About the love letter. I was really hurt too. Li Jiu rolled her eyes. Got a heart problem? Go see a vet. Crying to me won't help. Su Fuiying only turned softer, gazing pitifully at Xing Hao. That delicate look instantly stirred his protective instincts. Xing Hao stepped forward, pointing at Li Jiu. You've gone too far. I get that you're upset you weren't matched with me, but that's no reason to take it out on Yingying. Where's the guy you were matched with? Just then a low magnetic voice cut through the room. Sorry everyone. Got held up a bit. I'm not too late, am I? Su Fuiying lifted her gaze, expecting some random nobody. Yet instead she was struck dumb by a face almost too perfect to be real. It was Pei Shirsi, China's most legendary face, the youngest triple award-winning movie king in history. Su Fuiying froze on the spot. How on earth is he here? Pei Shirsi strolled over to Xing Hao, his gaze heavy with pressure. Young Master Xing. Xing Hao sneered inside, looking down on him. Just a damn actor. Pei Shirsi turned his head toward Li Jiu, his tone sharp. So this is the Xing family heir you were supposed to go on a blind date with? The words landed like a jealous lover's interrogation, leaving Li Jiu flushed with embarrassment. The livestream chat, meanwhile, went wild. Viewers foaming with excitement, waiting for the drama to explode. Su Fuiying's smile nearly split her face. She couldn't wait for Li Jiu's lie to be exposed. She quickly fanned the flames. Don't be upset, Teacher Pei. That blind date with Xing Hao was clearly her family's arrangement. It definitely wasn't Li Jiu's choice. Li Jiu almost exploded on the spot. This White Lotus is asking for it. I'll roast her alive. But before she could even speak, Pei Shirsi had already stepped in front of her, his voice calm. Upset? What for? Su Fuiying's expression froze instantly. Pei Shirsi then reached out, ruffling Li Jiu's hair with a faint smile. Didn't she say she ditched it? If she couldn't even bother to look at him, why would I waste my anger? That line, an instant kill. Xing Hao's face twisted like he'd just swallowed something foul. Movie King Pei, don't spout nonsense without proof. Pei Shirsi arched a brow, his tone casual but sharp. No proof? Fine then. Why don't you tell us exactly when this so-called blind date happened? Xing Hao, dim as ever, blurted out, last Saturday night. Su Fuiying instantly realized the flaw. Last Saturday was the very day Pei Shirsi and Li Jiu's scandal broke out. She rushed to cover. Ah Hao, maybe you remembered wrong. But Xing Hao doubled down. I've got a great memory. It was Saturday night. Li Jiu wore a white dress and even brought me a gift. Too bad I wasn't interested. His nonsense was too much. Pei Shirsi gave Li Jiu a lazy glance. Tisk tee. This is the kind of man your mom picked for you? What questionable taste. Li Jiu knew her mother had matched her randomly. He didn't even know her real background, just her name. Xing Hao, meanwhile, was still clueless, playing the fool. Pei Shirsi chuckled, striking hard. Before lying, maybe do some homework. Li Jiu never wears white dresses, except for pajamas. What damn pajamas? Li Jiu yelped in mortification, glaring at him wide-eyed. She pinched his arm hard. You're dead meat. Ow. Easy there, little Jiu, your brother's hurting, Pei Shirsi drawled, milking the moment. The chat instantly exploded. Holy crap. How does he know what her pajamas look like? Are the rumors real? This is too sweet, I can't take it. Pei Shirsi, cool as ever, added the final blow. That night she was with me. The whole internet can testify. So tell me, young Master Xing, did you go on a date with a ghost? Xing Hao glanced at Su Fuiying, saw her give a small nod. His face darkened like spilled ink. Li Jiu, unbelievable. You ditched me for this actor? What a confession in disguise. His outburst spilled everything, leaving him red-faced and humiliated. The audience was ruthless. Such a delusional guy. Serves him right to be ditched. Su Huiying, already picturing the carnage in the comment section, quickly grabbed his arm and whispered, "Stop talking. Li Jiao and Teacher Pei just arrived. Lu Yu and Chi Yu haven't even greeted them yet." Realizing his blunder, Sheng Hao instantly shut up. But in his heart he dismissed these celebrities entirely, convinced that once the show ended he'd still return to Beijing society to live as the scumbag he was. Lu Yu stepped forward with a bright smile. "Hello, Senior Pei. Hello, beautiful sister. I'm Lu Yu from the girl group Aller." Chi Yu followed politely. "Hello, Senior. I'm Chi Yu." Li Jiao returned their kindness with praise. "I've heard your songs. Lu, your live stages are amazing. And Chi, your album is fantastic too." But Pei Shirsi kept his eyes locked on Chi Yu. The next second he yanked Li Jiao firmly to his side. Li Jiao blinked, startled, then frowned. "What are you doing?" Pei Shirsi shook the plastic bag in his hand. Inside was some medicine. "Didn't you say your foot hurts?" His gaze naturally dropped to Li Jiao's heel. Lu Yu's eyes followed. She leaned in and gasped, "Wow, such a cute bunny band-aid." The camera crew didn't miss the moment, zooming in for a big close-up of the bunny sticker. Li Jiao glanced back at it, thinking to herself, "Not bad, I guess." Lu Yu tilted her head in surprise. "I thought you were the cool, don't mess with me type. Didn't expect such a girly touch. This band-aid really doesn't match your style." Li Jiao's inner monologue. "Of course it doesn't. That childish man Pei Shirsi brought it." Catching her silence, the sharp-eyed Lu Yu's gaze glimmered with mischief. "So, this must have been prepared by Senior Pei, right?" Li Jiao froze, looking like a startled kitten that just had its secret exposed. The livestream chat immediately went wild. "Ha, no way. Our idol would never do something like that." Lu Yu blinked expectantly and asked Pei Shirsi, "Senior Pei, where did you get such cute band-aids? I want to grab some." Li Jiao shot him a glare. "Don't you dare lie. Try me and I'll end you." Everyone assumed Pei Shirsi had nothing to do with it, until he lazily pulled his phone out and swiped. A shop popped up on screen. "This one." Lu Yu leaned in and the camera followed. The link led to an online store full of all kinds of decorative band-aids. Chat exploded. "No way. Pei actually bought these. Order date says 3 months ago. Was this planned?" Lu Yu laughed and favorited the shop. "Honestly, Pei liking this cute vibe is wild." Pei Shirsi smiled faintly and looked at Li Jiao. "I bought them for you. Some people complain band-aids are ugly, so you make them cute." That line basically confirmed their connection in public. Li Jiao was mortified and mad. "I knew this Pei dog had ulterior motives. I came on the show and practically handed myself to fangirls." She ripped the bunny band-aid off and snapped, "Was this order just for me? Or did you buy extras for other girls too?" Then she leaned in and murmured in his ear, half threat, half tease, "Don't stir trouble for me. Try it and I'll bite you." Pei Shirsi didn't answer. He simply pinched the back of Li Jiao's neck like she was a kitten. She ended up being carried off obediently, leaving everyone else force-fed another round of dog food. He told her to sit still. "Stop fussing. I'll put the medicine on." Li Jiao shrank back awkwardly. "I can do it myself." Pei Shirsi glanced up at her. "Can you though?" That line wasn't lethal but felt downright insulting. Li Jiao bristled instantly. His warm hand held her ankle steady, the other carefully dabbing medicine with a cotton swab. When she tried to pull away, he warned, "Don't move. If it scars or stains ugly, don't blame me." The vain little Persian cat froze and behaved, and the scene turned into pure K-drama energy. Chat went absolutely wild. Meanwhile, Su Huiying's eyes burned with jealousy. She'd asked around and was sure Pei's movie schedule clashed with this show, so she banked on Sheng Hao instead. Now watching Li Jiao paired with Pei Shirsi while she sat there eating dog food, she was fuming. In contrast, Lu Yu was totally fangirling, tugging at Chi Yu's sleeve. "So sweet. This is perfect CP material." The germophobic Chi Yu glanced at the hand gripping his jacket, worried she'd get carried away and accidentally duel him on live TV. Director Zhang's voice came back over the speakers. "Congratulations to our 6 guests for finally meeting at the Heartbeat Villa. Now each CP pair, please come forward and collect your mission card." The 3 female guests each took a card. Liu went first. Stage 1, French romance trip. For the next 7 days and nights, each CP must live like real lovers. Next, Su Fuiying read aloud. The CP that wins the audience's hearts will be rewarded with massive resources. Li Jiu looked down at her card with a complicated expression. The 3 CPs will move into the villa's 2nd to 4th floors. Room selection will be decided by a mini-game. She suddenly stopped mid-sentence. Xing Hao shouted, "What game?" "Keep reading." Li Jiu rolled her eyes. "I'm not reading it." Pei Shirsi lazily took the card from her hand, lips curling in a smile. Heartbeat push-ups. Staff wheeled out 3 giant bubblegum pink heart-shaped waterbeds. Everyone's inner OS. Seriously, production team? Are you out of your minds? Curious baby Liu poked one. Wait, this thing is filled with water? The show had officially gone full romance gimmick mode. Actual waterbeds on stage. Pei Shirsi, clearly amused, continued reading. Each CP will face each other on the waterbed and do push-ups. The pair with the highest count gets first choice of rooms. Li Jiu raised her hand and asked, "Can the girl be on top for this?" Lu Yu shot that down. The rules say guy on top, girl on bottom, and the waterbed is unstable. Xing Hao suddenly piped up with brimming confidence. Sure, it's bouncy and tricky, but piece of cake for me. Qiyu clicked his tongue, clearly disgusted. This was disrespectful to women. He didn't want any part of it. Lu Yu hesitated, nervously rubbing her hair. Then she squared her shoulders. Whatever, we're here. For the room, I'll go all out. Su Fuiying cooed at Xing Hao. Ah, how I trust you. Xing Hao puffed up. I trust myself more. Pei Shirsi, meanwhile, was scanning the room for Li Jiu. She was tucked in a corner, giving off full hermit energy. Don't bother me. Pei Shirsi casually slid over and murmured, lips curved. Which room do you want? I'll get it for you. Li Jiu backed away, flustered. No way, no way. I'm not doing that embarrassing push-up with you. Forget it, Pei Shirsi. Chat lost it. The old she chases him, he runs, she can't escape gag had resurfaced. Their chemistry was borderline addictive and pulled in a ton of fans, but plenty of die-hard Pei stan girls still couldn't take it. Spammed the chat telling Li Jiu to get lost. Su Fuiying stepped forward with a sly smirk. What's the matter? Afraid you'll get lost in Teacher Pei's looks and won't be able to control yourself. Li Jiu rolled her eyes hard. Why are you everywhere like a pest? Who can't control themselves? The more she denied it, the guiltier she looked. Seeing this, Su Fuiying pounced, digging up Li Jiu's so-called schoolgirl crush on Pei Shirsi and spilling it out for everyone to hear. Li Jiu nearly lunged to slap her. Me? Crush on him? I'd rather crush on a pig. Pei Shirsi thought to himself, she calls me a pig, but that night she called me a dog. If I can't win her over, doesn't that make me worse than a pig or a dog? A wicked smile tugged at his lips, peach blossom eyes glimmering with mischief. That love letter wasn't written by her, just a little kitten scratching nonsense. With that, Pei Shirsi muted both their mics. Leaning close, his voice dropped to a whisper at her ear. Kitten, don't be mad. The next second, his deep, magnetic voice brushed against her ear. That wishing bottle, I'm taking it back. I really do love that gift, kitten. Li Jiu's scalp tingled, her face flushing crimson all the way to her ears. She jolted back like she'd been shocked. What are you doing? Viewers in the livestream were going insane, practically ready to eat their keyboards. This muted mic torture was killing them. Pei Shirsi casually clipped his mic back on. His tone was lazy, teasing. Be good. Come do push-ups with me. I don't feel like sleeping on the top floor. Even so, Li Jiu shook her head furiously, rejecting him over and over. Seeing this, director Jiang Feng stepped in with a friendly reminder. By the way, the room on the 4th floor might be haunted at night. The moment Li Jiu heard that, she caved instantly, obediently joining the game. As expected, the old fox knew her weakness. Her fear of ghosts had been nailed perfectly. Jiang Feng, already convinced something was up between the two, silently vowed as a pro-sugar feeder. He was going to milk every drop of sweetness out of their chemistry. Su Fuiying and Lu Yu were already lying down ready to go. Li Jiu, however, stalled on the side for a long while before shooting Pei Shirsi a wary glance. You're not gonna take advantage of me, are you? His lips curved into a smirk. Funny, isn't it? The one who keeps taking advantage. Isn't that you? Li Jiu's mind went blank. Ghosts on one side, her nemesis on the other. How was she supposed to choose? In the next second, she threw caution to the wind, flopping onto the waterbed. Just do it. Quick. Fast and clean. Why did that sound way too suggestive? Pei Shirsi's expression shifted as he looked at her. She was so nervous she was clutching the slit of her qipao tight. Suddenly, Li Jiu covered her face with both hands, yet peeked through her fingers, locking eyes with his peach blossom gaze. That handsome face made her scalp tingle. She squeezed her eyes shut altogether, silently chanting a calming mantra. But then Jiang Feng's voice blasted out, "Ladies, please open your eyes." Li Jiu cracked one eye open, glaring at the loudspeaker. Jiang Feng went on mercilessly, "Female guests, your job is to supervise the guys' push-up form and keep count." With no choice, Li Jiu reluctantly opened both eyes. At that exact moment, Pei Shirsi lowered himself onto his knees. The livestream chat went absolutely feral. "Oh my god. I'm so jealous. Li Jiu gets to see him this close." But Li Jiu had no time to admire the man in front of her. The moment Pei Shirsi dropped to his knees, the waterbed jolted hard, tossing her around like a wave at sea. Instinctively, she grabbed at something. Her fingers brushed against a cold metal buckle. Pei Shirsi's body froze. She had tugged on his belt buckle, and with just a little more force his pants might have slipped right off. Li Jiu let go as if shocked by electricity, stammering, I didn't mean it. I wasn't trying to take advantage of you." Pei Shirsi's lips pressed together. After a beat of silence, he muttered two words, "Little vixen." Li Jiu's inner monologue. "Please stop saying things that make people misunderstand." All the guests got into position, and at Jiang Feng's shout of "Begin," Pei Shirsi turned his gaze on Li Jiu. His eyes intense, unwavering. The heat in his stare made her cheeks burn, and the atmosphere instantly turned charged with tension. Nearly losing her mind, she jerked her head away. "Hurry up and start already." Seeing her flustered like that, Pei Shirsi couldn't resist teasing her. As he lowered himself, he leaned in close to her ear and whispered, "Relax, your brother never loses." Li Jiu, the little Persian cat, froze under his handsome face, holding his gaze in silence for a long, breathless moment. The heartbeat push-ups finally began, and all three CPs threw themselves into the challenge. Ever the try-hard, Xing Hao immediately started pumping out push-ups like his life depended on it. What should have been romantic turned downright awkward. His shirt tassels swung with every move, slapping across Su Fuiying's face until she could barely keep her eyes open. On the other side, Qiyu kept it strictly professional, maintaining a careful distance from Lu Yu the whole time. Meanwhile, the 10 miles of red makeup CP, Pei Shirsi and Li Jiu, also kept a polite distance like a textbook example of restraint. Yet the veins on Pei Shirsi's sculpted forearms bulged with each motion, the sight making Li Jiu's breath falter and her nerves spiral. His handsome face kept drawing closer, his breath hot and ragged. Her cheeks burned, her chest tightened, and in her head she screamed, "Please, let this end already." Just then, the self-proclaimed alpha male, Xing Hao, ran out of stamina and collapsed first, leaving Su Fuiying sighing helplessly. The second pair, Lu Yu and Qiyu, also finished. Lu Yu consoled him with a bright smile. "It's fine. We didn't get first, but you were amazing and so handsome." Meanwhile, stamina monster Pei Shirsi kept going. Li Jiu panicked and shouted, "Enough, enough. We're already in first place, just stop." Pei Shirsi only lowered his gaze with a sly smile and teased, "Are you sure we're first?" From the side, Lu Yu nodded eagerly while fangirling, "Pei Senior, you're incredible." Only then did Pei Shirsi brace one knee on the waterbed and roll onto his side, nearly sending Li Jiu flying off. With a devilish grin, he murmured, "What can I say? I can't let my little girlfriend end up in the haunted room." The live stream chat exploded. "Girlfriend? Save us, he's killing us with sugar bombs." Li Jiu froze, her head buzzing from the sudden intimacy. She stammered, "Well, you can't just call me that." While screaming inwardly, "We're supposed to be mortal enemies." Pei Shirsi chuckled lazily. "Aren't we supposed to be a pretend couple? If not girlfriend, what should I call you then?" His eyes flashed mischievously as he leaned close, whispering right in her ear, "Baby." Li Jiu shot up like a startled kitten, shoving him away and bolting from the waterbed as fast as she could. Pei Shirsi simply sat there, smug and satisfied, watching her flustered figure flee the scene. She ran, he chased. There was no escape. Li Jiu stumbled backward and bumped into a tall bar stool. She scrambled onto it for safety. Pei Shirsi, worried she might fall, coaxed, "Come down before you get hurt." Li Jiu glared back, "Don't you dare come any closer." Pei Shirsi immediately softened, murmuring, "All right, I was wrong," and reached out a hand to guide her down. New viewers flooded the chat like squealing prairie dogs, chanting for the 10 miles of Red Veil CP. The couple hashtag skyrocketed, and fans even crowned themselves with a new fandom name, Dowry. If not today, then tomorrow you're still caught. Only then did Li Jiu realize she was trembling high up on the bar stool. Her voice wavered as she whimpered, I want to get down." Pei Shirsi reached out to catch her, but the next second she lashed out like a spooked Persian cat, smacking his hand away with a sharp slap. "I'll do it myself, don't you dare touch me. A wise cat doesn't fight dogs." Li Jiu hopped down on her own and darted off in escape mode, leaving Pei Shirsi speechless. Just then, Director Zhang's voice boomed through the loudspeaker. "Congratulations to 10 miles of Red Veil CP. You've won the first round and the privilege of choosing your room." Li Jiu blinked in confusion. "What's 10 miles of Red Veil CP?" Still without hesitation, the clever girl snatched the second floor. Naturally, Lu Yu and Chi Yu picked the third floor, leaving Su Fuiying and Xing Hao stuck with the dreaded haunted fourth floor. Pei Shirsi and Li Jiu hauled their luggage up to the second floor. He watched in silence as she bolted straight into a room. On the door hung a pink heart sign, "Mystery Room, locked." Pei Shirsi sighed, clearly another stunt from the producers. All he could do was pray for her. Inside, Li Jiu had already launched herself onto the bed, rolling back and forth like a maniac at least 100 times, her heart still pounding out of control. Images of Pei Shirsi's handsome, serious face, and that one gentle baby, flashed in her mind. She was doomed. "This is insane. Somebody save me." Hugging her pillow, she let out a string of muffled screams. "Pei Shirsi, that damn peacock must be poisonous." With no one around, she unleashed her embarrassment in full. What she didn't realize was that every move was being faithfully recorded by the cameras in the room. Viewers were glued to the feed, enjoying every second of the chaos. When she finally calmed down, her eyes accidentally locked onto the lens in the corner. Dead. Absolutely socially dead. All of that just now broadcast. She wished the ground would swallow her whole. In the next instant, actress Li Jiu switched on. She plastered on a smile and waved politely at the camera, which panned as if politely nodding back. "That just now was my twin sister," she declared. "Please don't pin her behavior on me." With that, she bolted into the bathroom like a spooked cat, grumbling under her breath. "Damn producers, installing so many cameras without warning me." Just then Li Jiu's phone rang. The screen lit up with Dad. His voice was full of cheer as he called from afar, sending his blessings. Then, in a tone dripping with satisfaction, he announced, "The nursery has already been prepared for you and Pei Shirsi." Li Jiu nearly fainted. "Goodbye," she snapped, hanging up and instantly blocking her dad's number. On the other end, her father lowered the phone with a grin, turning to Li Jiu's mother. "Ha, our daughter's embarrassed." Her mom sighed, but her dad puffed up with confidence. "Don't worry. I know my girl. She can't hold her ground in front of Pei Shirsi. By the time this show ends, he'll have her in the bag." Early the next morning, several cameramen barged straight into Pei Shirsi's room. Half asleep, he was still devastatingly handsome, hitting the lens with a sleepy face shot that could melt anyone. The live chat went wild. Thousands of fangirls were already calling themselves his girlfriends. Slowly lifting his lids, Pei Shirsi murmured, "What time is it?" "6, Mr. Pei," came the reply. He sat up lazily, the quilt slipping down to reveal his shoulders and collarbone. Just as the audience was about to scream, he pressed the blanket back into place. "Turn the cameras off for a minute." With a faint curve of his lips, he added, "I've got a girlfriend now. Gotta keep some dignity as a man." The chat exploded. "Oh my god, so romantic. Feeding us dog food first thing in the morning." A moment later, the staff handed Pei Shirsi a mission card. "Morning kiss." He couldn't hide the smile tugging at his lips as he read it aloud, slow and deliberate. "A beautiful morning starts with a morning kiss. At 7 a.m., the male guest must wake up the female guest." Inside the envelope was also a key. Pei Shirsi's faint grin deepened. Trust the producers to come up with this kind of stunt. He looked up and asked the staff, any special rules for this wake-up call? The reply came, as long as it's gentle, any method will do. After a brief pause of thought, he announced, I'll head to the kitchen, and casually rolled up his sleeves before heading downstairs. The fans watching instantly lost it. Was he really about to cook? The chat filled with speculation. Don't tell me he's going to make nightmare cuisine. Half an hour later, with the crew's help, Pei Shirsi quietly slipped into Li Jio's room. Completely unaware, Li Jio was still curled up in her blankets, sleeping soundly. Pei Shirsi sat down at the edge of her bed and gently shook her shoulder. She let out a soft tunk in her sleep, rolling over to face the camera. Viewers instantly melted. Her radiant, delicate features looked nothing like the bold, sassy persona they were used to. Pei Shirsi kept trying to wake her with patient, tender calls. The scene was so sweet it sent the livestream chat into overdrive. Help, my HP bar just hit 0. Half asleep, Li Jio mumbled, Pei dog, stop messing with me. 5 more minutes. Pei Shirsi gazed at her with undisguised fondness, then brushed her hair gently behind her ear and whispered, lazy kitten, time to get up. But Li Jio didn't stir. Just then the staff brought in breakfast, something Pei Shirsi had personally prepared for Li Jio. Like teasing a little hungry kitten, he held the strawberry tart right under her nose. Li Jio sniffed at it, her eyes still closed, and slowly pushed herself up from the bed. The next second, chomp. She bit straight into it without even opening her eyes. Her adorably clueless look made the livestream chat explode. Too cute. Pei Shirsi carefully wiped the cream off the tip of her nose and murmured, if you're awake, sit up and eat. Be good, lazy kitten. The sudden sense of reality jolted Li Jio awake. She opened her eyes, only to find a devastatingly handsome face right in front of her. She froze wide-eyed in shock. Ikiega, you? What are you doing in my room? Wrapping herself in the blanket, she turned into a little cocoon. Her glare was full of outrage, but her lips still twitched toward the tart in his hand. Wait, the strawberry tart in my dream, you were feeding me that? Pei Shirsi's eyes curved in a lazy smile. Didn't taste good? I woke up early to make it for you, little one. Right then, the crew announced, congratulations to Teacher Pei, the Good Morning Kiss mission is complete. The moment Li Jio heard the words good morning kiss, her brain went blank. Clapping a hand over her mouth, she burst out, You actually stole my first kiss? The little Persian cat had clearly misunderstood. She shot up from bed like a firecracker, pounced on Pei Shirsi, and yanked the blanket over his head as if she wanted to smother him on the spot. Pei Shirsi, you jerk. That was my first kiss, her furious voice shouted from above. After a long moment, he finally poked his head back out. His perfectly styled hair, which had taken him half an hour that morning, was now a flattened mess, but he still looked maddeningly handsome. Li Jio couldn't believe she was fighting first thing in the morning. Already worn out, she gave up, too tired to keep arguing. One of the staff chuckled. Miss Li, the good morning kiss was just the mission name. Teacher Pei didn't actually kiss you. Li Jio froze, then rolled her eyes. Seriously? You guys could have said that earlier. She shot Pei Shirsi a guilty glance and muttered, You're still alive, right? Pei Shirsi leaned back lazily, lips curving. What do you think? Li Jio leaned closer, testing his breath like she was checking on a patient. Finally, she nodded seriously. Yes, still breathing for now. The livestream chat went wild. Forget romance, this is straight-up comedy gold. To everyone watching, the two were clearly a pair of bickering sweethearts. And anyone sharp enough could see it. Pei Shirsi's feelings were written all over his eyes. Too bad Li Jio still insisted on treating him like her sworn enemy. As the show's popularity skyrocketed, related hashtags shot straight to the trending list. At that moment, Su Fuiying was grinding her teeth so hard she nearly cracked a molar. Watching Li Jio's soaring popularity made her want to swallow her phone whole. Never had she imagined she'd end up being the perfect assist. With a dark expression, she snapped at the stylist, What look is Li Jio doing today? When she heard Li Jio had come alone without her own styling team, a flicker of relief crossed her heart. She quickly instructed her makeup artist, Make me gorgeous, extra gorgeous. Inside she schemed. With what little beauty and wit she had left, she'd still find a way to outshine Li Jio on camera. Li Jio appeared in a knee-length red dress, elegant and mesmerizing, oozing charm with every step. Lu Yu's eyes instantly sparkled like stars, practically drooling as he blurted out, "Li Jiu, you're so gorgeous I think I might fall in love with you." The live chat exploded. "Danger ahead. Hands off that girl. Let me take over." The camera panned to Pei Shirsi, lounging lazily on the sofa, peeling an orange at an unhurried pace. He drawled, "Nice dress, isn't it?" Lu Yu nodded furiously. "Nice? It's stunning." Pei Shirsi smirked. "Told you. My taste never misses." Li Jiu crossed her arms and rolled her eyes. "Show off. Does everything have to be about you?" Pei Shirsi lifted his gaze, a sly smile tugging at his lips. "Didn't think you'd actually pick the dress I gave you." Li Jiu bristled. "Don't talk nonsense. When did you ever buy me anything?" But mid-retort she froze. A memory clicked. This dress really had been a midsummer gift from him. Flustered, she spun around and bolted upstairs. "I'm changing out of it right now." Soon she came downstairs again, this time in an off-shoulder black mini dress. Pei Shirsi tilted his gaze, casually munching on an orange. "Didn't I give you that for Children's Day this year?" Li Jiu was utterly speechless. The feisty little Persian cat stormed off once more. Her wine-red skirt made her look dazzling. Surely this one had nothing to do with him, right? Yet Pei Shirsi added lazily, "Christmas gift. Last year." Refusing to accept defeat, Li Jiu switched into a pink floral dress, cute and girly to the max. But Pei Shirsi just smirked. "Women's Day gift. This year. Spare me already." Li Jiu panted before changing into a deep gray outfit. Pei Shirsi chomped on an apple unfazed. "Spring equinox gift." Finally, Li Jiu tried a black slip dress with an open back and a pink bow, sexy yet playful. Pei Shirsi's eyes went wide, words stumbling out. "That one was Father's Day." Li Jiu exploded on the spot. "You even gave me a Father's Day gift? Why not just call me Daddy while you're at it?" The livestream audience overdosed on sugar yet again, stuffed to death by the endless dog food. Pei Shirsi gently pulled Li Jiu's hand over. "Tired? Have some fruit to calm down." Li Jiu sat on the couch, exhaling like a spoiled Persian cat reluctantly appeased after being fed, obedient for a grand total of 0.08 seconds. On the side, Lu Yu covered his mouth, munching on dog food right in front of him. Who could endure that? A moment later, Jiang Feng announced the official start of the couple's love trip. To avoid the awkwardness of one-on-one dates, all six would still travel together. The challenge this time: couples selfies. The pair that secretly takes the most photos without the others noticing wins, and earns a chance to appear on the cover of a top fashion magazine. Su Fuiying's eyes nearly popped out. That magazine was the gold standard in the fashion world, an opportunity she absolutely had to seize. Li Jiu, however, looked indifferent. After all, the magazine had been casually founded by her own mother. She couldn't care less, so she slouched back on the sofa and kept snacking on fruit. Jiang Feng squinted at her. Seems like someone still hasn't gotten used to this whole pretend couple thing. Maybe even rejects romance altogether. Li Jiu gave a perfunctory nod. Jiang Feng smirked. "Well, our show is very considerate. To speed up the bonding process, we prepared a little gift." With one look from him, a staff member stepped forward. Click. Li Jiu froze, completely dumbfounded. The staff had locked a dainty handcuff around her wrist, the other end snapping onto Pei Shirsi's hand. The two of them were now literally chained together. Jiang Feng grinned triumphantly. "We call this the love shackles. It'll force you two to stick close. Don't worry, they unlock after tonight's sleep." It was practically tailor-made for Pei Shirsi and Li Jiu. The live stream erupted. Director Jiang never misses. "These shackles are too dramatic." Li Jiu shot up from the sofa, fuming. "What about the bathroom? The shower? Eating? Does he have to feed me too?" "Bingo." Jiang Feng replied coolly. "That's why they're called love shackles." 15 minutes later, all three couples were ready to head out. Pei Shirsi's gaze drifted toward Li Jiu, catching the bare whiteness of her back, like a walking spotlight. He clicked his tongue, that flash of male possessiveness written all over his eyes. His long fingers reached out, brushing her hair forward to cover the exposed skin. Li Jiu whipped around. "Peacock, what are you doing?" Damn, he couldn't let her know he was jealous. Pei Shirsi quickly averted his gaze. Nothing. Meanwhile, Luyu was busy shipping them, tugging at Chiyu. Look so sweet. Su Fuiying cut in. We're short on time and the task is tough. I suggest we grab a cab. Xing Hao instantly agreed, puffing himself up. I've traveled abroad plenty. I know my way around and I've got money. Su Fuiying's eyes sparkled. Ah, how you're the best. Li Jiu sneered. So, young Master Xing, you've been to France before? Xing Hao boasted. Not France, but I've traveled to many other countries. It's all the same. Since you've never been abroad, better not comment. As arrogant as ever. Having studied in France, Li Jiu couldn't even be bothered to argue. Sure. Whatever you say. Feeling validated, Xing Hao grew even bolder. Taking a cab is best, gets us anywhere easily. Li Jiu asked calmly, and where exactly would you cab to? Xing Hao replied proudly, the garden. Li Jiu nearly burst out laughing. Young Master Xing, ever thought about the possibility that it's only a 5-minute walk? Xing Hao froze on the spot. The act was blown and he was left speechless, completely exposed. Luyu, quick as ever, pulled out her phone and checked. Sure enough, walking only took 5 minutes while a cab would take over 10. Embarrassed from back-to-back callouts, Xing Hao snapped, no way, walking's faster than driving. Li Jiu calmly schooled him. Around the Louvre the traffic's a mess. On foot you can take shortcuts. Xing Hao's face turned red then green, but he still sneered. You must have read some travel guide before coming here. Li Jiu chuckled dryly, too lazy to argue. Anyway, we'll hit the Louvre first, then head north on foot. You can cover most of the sites that way. Before she even finished, her little fangirl Luyu shot her hand up. Li Jiu, I'm going with you. She practically forgot she had her own CP. While everyone else fussed over the route, Pei Shirsi's gaze never left the pale skin of Li Jiu's back, already drowning in vinegar. Sensing the peacock's unusual silence, Li Jiu glanced back. Why aren't you talking? What are you up to? Pei Shirsi smiled faintly. Don't mind me. I always follow your lead. Just then Jiang Feng rolled up on a bicycle. To help you experience Paris the right way, we've prepared something special. Hop on the bikes, everyone. Time to ride out. The program clearly had it all planned. Su Fuiying and Xing Hao were the first to grab theirs. Su Fuiying batted her lashes. Ah, Hao, thanks for carrying me. Xing Hao, enjoying the blind adoration, gave her a mysterious smile. Sure, no problem. Luyu and Chi got ready too. With that, two couples pedaled off happily. On bikes, traffic was never an issue. Pei Shirsi motioned for Li Jiu to hop on. The moment she looked at him sitting on the bike, she was thrown back to the image of that confident boy from her youth. White school uniform, hair tousled by the breeze. Everything had been so simple and beautiful. Back then, Li Jiu couldn't ride a bike, so he always carried her home after school. Now, years later, sitting on his back seat again made her heart race with nerves. Before she could even steady herself, Pei Shirsi slammed down on the pedal and the bike shot forward. Caught off guard, Li Jiu tumbled against his solid back, clutching at his shirt in panic. The soft grip made Pei Shirsi's face flush red. After a long beat, he glanced sideways. Li Jiu stammered, I didn't mean to. It's the chain's fault. Without looking back, he muttered casually, no, it was on purpose. Li Jiu froze. What the hell was that supposed to mean? A wicked curve tugged at his lips. Hold tighter, he teased, then leaned back just slightly. My waist is just fine. Li Jiu's eyes nearly popped out from behind her sunglasses. Was this man seriously spouting this nonsense in broad daylight? Before she could snap back, Pei Shirsi straightened his posture, kicked the pedals hard, and the bike surged forward. Li Jiu's heart skipped a beat. She instinctively wrapped her arms tighter around his waist, and her fingers brushed against his firm, springy abs. The sensation sent a jolt through her hands. Inside she was screaming, oh my god, this damn peacock is seducing me again. But with the chain binding them, her hands had nowhere else to go. Flustered, she blurted, don't get the wrong idea. Blame the stupid director. The chain's too short. Otherwise I wouldn't even touch you. Pei Shirsi chuckled low, the husky sound carried by the wind straight into her ears. Got it, princess. The livestream chat lost it, spamming nonstop. So sweet. I can't take it. I'm crying sugar tears out of my mouth. Meanwhile, director Jiang Feng, his scheme successful, was grinning ear to ear. He nudged his assistant. See? Didn't I tell you? Their chemistry is real. Worry about Shirsi avoiding intimacy? Never an issue. The 6 guests soon arrived at the Louvre, and the moment they stepped in, Li Jiao felt her whole body relax. But her fingertips still tingled with the memory of those abs. That sensation lingered in her head. Damn, that peacock's body really was something. Still, let him charm 900 million other girls. As far as she was concerned, she'd long since cut off all feelings. Pei Shirsi glanced back, his eyes sharp as if reading her mind. Those abs feel good? You've been replaying it for a while. Don't tell me you're craving my body now. Li Jiao almost exploded, but the second his ridiculously handsome face leaned in, her anger fizzled out. After racking her brain, she finally came up with a comeback. Hey, you're overthinking. Honestly, your abs and waist aren't that impressive. Pei Shirsi let out an awkward laugh at a rare loss for words. Li Jiao seized the chance to twist the knife. Don't be insecure, don't be sad. The oysters here are pretty good. Maybe they'll help you out. For once, Pei Shirsi was completely shut down. Li Jiao felt a surge of triumph and prepared to slip away. But Pei Shirsi saw right through her. This little Persian cat is lying, he thought darkly. One day I'll make sure she learns exactly what I'm capable of. After finishing their tour of the Louvre, the next stop was the Tuileries garden. It was less than a 5-minute walk before the 6 of them arrived. With the love handcuffs still binding her, Li Jiao strolled along leisurely, like she was walking a dog in her own backyard. Back in the day, she had sketched here countless times. Returning now, the familiar atmosphere hit her all at once. Not liking how Li Jiao had stolen the spotlight, Su Fuiying put on her sugary tone. Didn't expect Ju Jiao's route to be decent. Honestly, I came prepared too. If I led, we'd get through just fine. Li Jiao rolled her eyes and fired back. Oh my, Miss Su, seems you're quite good at chess. Su Fuiying blinked in confusion, until Li Jiao lazily pushed up her glasses. After all, that knight after checkmate move of yours was pretty brilliant. The jab hit home. Flustered, Su Fuiying quickly turned to Xing Hao with watery eyes, begging him to defend her. Xing Hao instantly turned snide. We shouldn't stoop to the level of someone who's never seen the world. You must be tired, Yingying. Let me buy you a coffee. Li Jiao nearly gagged at their fake couple act. Then Su Fuiying went full drama queen. Don't blame Ju Jiao or Hao. She's always like this, I've gotten used to it. The two of them, acting in perfect sync, made it look like Li Jiao was some unforgivable villain. Just as Li Jiao was about to snap back, Pei Shirsi cut in smoothly. Miss Su isn't just good at chess. She's good at scheming too, always knows how to spice up a story. His words froze Su Fuiying in place. She opened her mouth, but not a single excuse came out. The live stream chat went berserk. Holy crap. Pei Shirsi stood up for her. 10 miles of red makeup CP double team. This is epic. Ship it. Realizing she'd been humiliated, Su Fuiying grabbed Xing Hao and fled the scene in embarrassment. Lu Yu forced a stiff smile and quickly changed the subject. I'm kind of hungry. I'll go grab some sandwiches. Pei Shirsi chuckled, turning his gaze to Li Jiao. She couldn't help but mutter, sharp-tongued king, classic you. Inside, Pei Shirsi felt a little wronged. This spoiled Persian cat really couldn't be tamed. He just stood up for her, yet she still clawed back at him like he was the enemy. He asked casually, want to grab something to eat? Li Jiao's eyes flickered. After a pause, she shook her head. I'm not hungry. She plopped down on a chair, clamping her legs tightly together. Truth was, she'd wanted to use the restroom for a while now. But the thought of Flower Peacock tagging along, too embarrassing. She'd rather explode than admit it. The live stream viewers, sharp-eyed as ever, instantly saw through her little dilemma. Spotting her nervously clutching her skirt hem, Pei Shirsi leaned closer. Are you feeling unwell? Li Jiao quickly turned her head away. No. Watching her flushed cheeks, Pei Shirsi let out a soft laugh. Ju, don't tell me you need the bathroom? Her heart nearly jumped out of her chest. Crap, he found out. She shot back, chin lifted proudly. Bathroom? Please. I'm a fairy. Fairies don't poop. Pei Shirsi was completely defeated. Even now she insisted on playing the dignified Persian cat. With a helpless smile, he offered, then how about we just grab a lot of your favorite? Flustered, Li Jiao waved her hands like mad. No need. Don't bother. At that moment, the helpful Lu Yu returned triumphantly with a latte, grinning like she'd just won a prize. The word latte made Li Jiao's bladder twinge again, danger lights flashing. A moment later, the six set off again. Next stop, the Eiffel Tower. Pei Shirsi glanced back at her, a crooked smile on his lips. Why are you slowing down, Jiao? Running out of energy? Want some oysters to recharge? Damn peacock holding grudges for real. Clamping down on the urge, Li Jiao shot back. Oysters are a man's fuel station, not a fairy's. Her flustered look only amused him more. He leaned in, teasing, then how about a latte for energy? Li Jiao immediately bristled, mentally swearing to assassinate him once she was free. As they walked, Su Fuiying pointed out the distance. It's still a ways to the Eiffel, let's ride. Everyone but Li Jiao agreed. The thought of a bumpy ride made her shudder. This was getting scary. Lost in thought, she jumped when Pei Shirsi murmured in her ear, if you need the bathroom, just go. I can't be responsible if you hold it in. Li Jiao wanted to beat him up on the spot. He was clearly provoking her on purpose. Pei Shirsi feigned innocence. Really? If you need the bathroom, I'll just come with you. That line lit up Li Jiao's inner alarm. Peacock, just die already. She screamed silently. Soon, Li Jiao ended up on Pei Shirsi's bike. Every bump along the way nearly drove her insane. Pei Shirsi, however, looked smug, clearly waiting for his little Persian cat to finally break down. When they hit a speed bump, he deliberately jerked the bike extra hard. Li Jiao nearly cried and shouted, "Help!" At last she couldn't take it anymore. She tugged on Pei Shirsi's shirt, hinting for him to stop. He braked and turned around. Her face was bright red, whether from holding it in or from embarrassment, before she whispered, "I need to use the bathroom." A sly grin curved his lips, his eyes saying loud and clear, "See? Still think you can keep up that tough act?" The two bolted off and finally found a restroom, with Li Jiao dragging him inside in a panic. But the moment they stepped in, a blonde girl came face to face with them. Her eyes went wide like saucers as she shrieked, "Pervert!" She bolted out the door, leaving this as probably the most humiliating moment of the movie king's life. The live stream exploded instantly. Big Bro really sacrificed himself this time. Li Jiao is so lucky, his first time was given to her. Behind the door, Li Jiao couldn't focus at all, terrified that Pei Shirsi might hear something he wasn't supposed to. Suddenly he knocked and called out, "Hurry up, little Jiao. Your big brother's dying of embarrassment here." Li Jiao jumped, snapping back, "Can't you at least cover your ears?" Pei Shirsi's lips curled lazily. So my little Jiao is shy after all. Exposed like that, her face burned red, silently begging the flamboyant peacock to shut up already. With a casual glance, Pei Shirsi turned on the faucet, letting the rush of water drown out everything else. From behind the door, Li Jiao instantly felt less mortified. The livestream chat blew up. Smart move. Big Bro's EQ and IQ are both maxed out. When she finally came out, she looked refreshed, instantly switching back into her haughty Persian cat mode. She thanked him with a pout, then teased, "Since you came in anyway, want to take care of business too? I promise I won't laugh." Pei Shirsi's gaze locked on her, his tone sharp. "Oh, you cheeky little cat. Done and still acting smug? Don't worry, your brother's kidneys are just fine." That comeback floored Li Jiao. The Persian cat was instantly KO'd, left completely speechless. Their next stop was the Eiffel Tower, and the two strolled slowly to its base. Just then, a little girl holding a red heart-shaped balloon ran up and chirped, "Do you want a picture? You're the prettiest couple I've ever seen." Pei Shirsi glanced at Li Jiao. "Wanna take one?" She shot him a disdainful look. "We're not a real couple, so what's the point?" Suddenly, a gust of wind whipped by, sending Li Jiao's skirt flying. Pei Shirsi reacted instantly, catching the hem with one swift motion and shielding her. With a knowing tone, he teased, "High votes mean fashion resources, you know." Seeing she still looked unmoved, he leaned closer, voice dipping into mock pleading, "Poor me. I've never even been on the cover of a famous magazine." Li Jiao stared at the ridiculously handsome man in disbelief. The livestream chat exploded as hardcore fans exposed him. Lies. He's been on 6 covers already. Men's mouths are nothing but lies. The crowd laughed, calling his stunt shameless. Anything just to take a picture with little Jiao. Li Jiao blinked in shock. Knowing her mother's fondness for him, it seemed impossible. You really haven't been on a magazine cover? Pei Shirsi put on a pitiful face. Nope. Just pity your poor brother, won't you? For a moment, Li Jiu felt her halo flare, and her gaze softened into something almost motherly. Fine. This lady will reluctantly grace you with a photo. The corners of Pei Shirsi's lips curled up, smug and sly. His scheme had worked. The little girl quickly handed Li Jiu the heart-shaped balloon. Big sis, hold this and head over there. She pointed toward the nearby carousel. The little girl immediately grabbed Li Jiu's hand and dragged her toward the carousel. Pick a pretty horse. Let big brother hold big sister for the picture. Li Jiu hesitated, glancing at the ride. Wearing a skirt made getting on a bit inconvenient. Pei Shirsi seemed to read her mind, offering his hand like a gentleman. At your service, my lady. She looked up at him, catching the clarity in his brown eyes, yet beneath it lurked a natural devilish charm. With a playful pout she whispered, thanks, and placed her hand in his palm. Warmth wrapped around her waist as his strong arm pulled her effortlessly onto the horse. A moment later his long legs swung over with ease, and he seated himself right behind her. Childlike music filled the air as the carousel began to spin. The breeze lifted Li Jiu's hair, and the pale skin of her back peeked through, dangerously alluring. A flicker of jealousy stirred in Pei Shirsi's chest. There was no way he'd let anyone else catch sight of this. Leaning closer, his voice dropped low and husky by her ear. Any of those blind date partners catch your eye? Li Jiu spun around, eyes wide with disbelief. Peacock, what kind of nonsense is that supposed to be? Suddenly, Pei Shirsi wrapped his arm tightly around Li Jiu's slender waist, resting his chin on her shoulder. The air turned instantly more intimate. Little Jiu, out of all those men your mother lined up for you, not a single one caught your eye? His sudden closeness sent her heart racing, the fire she'd suppressed for years flaring up all at once. Flustered, she averted her gaze. What's it got to do with you? But with how well Pei Shirsi knew his little Persian cat, that reaction alone told him enough. None of those so-called suitors ever stood a chance. Just as she tried to keep up her tough front, his eyes narrowed playfully, peach blossom gaze full of roguish charm. He chuckled lazily. Got it. I already know the answer. Li Jiu's feline eyes locked onto the peacock, baffled by his cryptic muttering. Meanwhile, the livestream chat was in meltdown. The crew's lousy mics picked up nothing, leaving fans sobbing that they couldn't hear a word of the secret conversation. Soon the music faded and the carousel came to a stop. The two stepped down only to be greeted by the little girl rushing over. Big brother, big sister, come see your photos. They leaned in to check the camera. Li Jiu looked rather uninterested, while Pei Shirsi carefully picked through the shots with unusual focus. The show even gave the moment a dramatic close-up. Li Jiu in her striking black slip dress astride the white horse, while behind her stood the elegant, laid-back man who shielded her, like a modern-day prince and princess frozen in a frame. As the dating show's buzz skyrocketed, hashtags exploded onto the trending list. The 10 Miles of Red Makeup CP fan forum doubled in activity, and the livestream audience was already stuffed full of dog food. Back at the Heartbeat Villa, Li Jiu and Pei Shirsi wasted no time digging into dinner. Just then both of their phones buzzed at the same time. Li Jiu glanced sideways, only to see Pei Shirsi casually set down his chopsticks and pick up his phone. A wave of dread washed over her. Something bad was coming. Sure enough, in the group chat titled Beijing 7 and Little Cat Li Jiu, chaos was already brewing. Ji Che was happily rambling about the carousel couple photo of Li Jiu and Pei Shirsi, convinced it was just fake gossip. Come on, those two sworn enemies dating? No way. Meanwhile, Ji Che was laughing his head off at home, his mocking voice practically echoing in Li Jiu's ears. She snapped, Ji Che, you damn troll, you're dead. She jabbed the screen furiously. One tap later, Ji Che was mercilessly kicked out of the group. Still clueless, he rushed to DM her. Li Mimi, how could you be so cruel? I stood up for you against Paige. Before Li Jiu could type a reply, Pei Shirsi leaned over, pressed the voice button on her phone and said coolly, Ji Che, who the hell are you calling Mimi? Ji Che replayed the clip over and over, dumbfounded. Paige. But this was clearly Li Jiu's WeChat. Why was Pei Shirsi right next to her, even speaking through her account? His brain finally clicked. Maybe they were fighting again? Did Paige need him to call 911? The guy sitting next to him gave him a look like he was an idiot, Bro, you serious? Check the trending list yourself. Ji-chae reluctantly opened Weibo hot search, only to find Pei Shirsi and Lee Jio's carousel photo under the Eiffel Tower blazing across the screen, dazzling enough to blind him. Holy shit. Ji-chae screamed so loud it nearly shook the roof. They actually took the damn photo? And they went on a dating show behind our backs? What the hell is going on? Ji-chae immediately spam called Pei Shirsi on WeChat. Pei, you sold me out. We agreed to stay single together, and you went and ate the grass right next to your own nest. Pei Shirsi chuckled low, turning his gaze toward Lee Jio. Nest grass is the sweetest. I've wanted a taste of this one for a long time. Somewhere across town, Ji-chae was probably exploding into ashes. Pei Shirsi then leaned in close to Lee Jio's ear and whispered, "Little nest grass." Lee Jio shivered all over, her eyes flickering. What the hell are you doing, Peacock? Why are you acting so sappy again? Pei Shirsi smirked lazily. Nothing. Just thought the nickname sounded perfect. Rabbits may not eat the grass by their burrow, but a peacock? He has to. That night, the male guests received their new mission. On the second day of the love trip, they had to invite the female guests out on a date. The secret twist? Guide the girls into falling right into their arms without them even noticing. The live stream went wild with screams. This is the fastest moving romance show I've ever seen. Completely in the dark, Lee Jio was fiddling with her handcuffs. If they really had to shower together, she'd die of secondhand embarrassment on the spot. Suddenly, she felt a burning gaze locked on her back. She whipped her head around. Why are you staring at me? Pei Shirsi replied lazily, just wondering, are you going to shower before bed? The little Persian cat puffed up in frustration, cursing the damn director. If it weren't for his rule about unlocking only before bedtime, she would have already showered in peace. Lee Jio bit back her irritation and snapped, I smell great. No need to shower. Pei Shirsi leaned in, eyes glinting with mischief. Then come shower with me, little Jio. Her pupils dilated. What the hell? It felt like fireworks exploded in her brain, leaving her stunned speechless. After a beat, she tried to flip it back on him. Actually, you don't want to shower either. Pei Shirsi chuckled, the corner of his eyes lifting with that familiar lazy charm. Not shower? No way. I biked all day. You'd really let me crawl into bed smelling like this? Lee Jio crossed her arms, completely unfazed. Doesn't matter. You won't stink up my side anyway. Pei Shirsi shook the chain on his wrist like he was leading a pet. Come on. With no choice, Lee Jio was dragged to the bathroom door. She planted herself at the entrance. I'll just wait right here. Pei Shirsi leaned lazily against the doorframe, eyes fixed on her. Don't be heartless. I just escorted you to the restroom. How could you burn the bridge after crossing it? He tapped her nose playfully. Lee Jio froze, her imagination running wild. The thought of him in the shower nearly made her nose bleed. Face burning, she snapped back with stubborn pride. No way. I'm not going in. She clutched the chain tight, determined to protect her so-called innocence. His peach blossom eyes sparkled as he stared at her for a long beat. Fine then. The next second, he shamelessly started unbuttoning his shirt. The live stream exploded. Wait, is this free content? His long fingers toyed with each button slowly, deliberately, the tension sizzling through the screen. Lee Jio's eyes widened. Pei Shirsi, you pervert. Panic rose in her chest. She turned her head, only to find the camera pointed directly at them. Which meant, the audience had just seen everything. Goddamn Peacock, have you no shame? But Pei Shirsi was unfazed. Didn't you say you'd shower out here? Lee Jio was speechless. He always twisted her words. His lazy drawl came again. If you don't go in soon, I'll take my pants off right here. The mental image was too much to handle. Lee Jio decided she'd had enough, for the audience and for her own eyes. She shoved Pei Shirsi straight into the bathroom. But even inside, the two couldn't keep quiet. The rustle of clothes, the faintly teasing words. The live stream chat went feral, DNA fully activated. Seeing him nearly bare, Lee Jio covered her face in panic. Pei Shirsi, get in there already. My eyes hurt. He drawled lazily. What's the rush? Some things should be savored slowly. With that, he finally wrapped a towel around his waist. Those 18-pack abs were too much. Lee Jio snapped, landing a mock dragon palm, to shove him inside and slam the door shut. Out of sight, out of mind. Yet the peacock wasn't done. He cracked the door open again, half his body leaning out. Forgot my underwear. Lee Jio rolled her eyes so hard they almost fell out. Drama king. She turned her back to the frosted glass, the sound of running water echoing around her. Because of the chain linking them, droplets slid down the cold metal and landed squarely in her palm. With the bathroom sealed and steam curling in the air, Lee Jio's face flushed crimson, her heart racing wildly. Inside the bathroom, Pei Shirsi let himself relax, washing away the day's exhaustion. He turned and, through the glass, spotted Lee Jio's stiff back as if she'd been frozen in place. Shutting off the shower, he tapped lightly on the glass. Towel. Lee Jio passed it back without looking. Pei Shirsi smirked as he took it, slowly wiping the water from his body. Before he could even speak, she already knew what was coming. With her pinky, she hooked his underwear and flicked it behind her. The whole time she held her breath, chanting in her head like a mantra. Calm your heart, lock it away, calm your heart. Just then the bathroom door slid open. His 18-pack abs glistened in the light. Xiao Jior, want to hop in too? No thanks. Lee Jio turned away, cheeks blazing. Just as the awkward tension lingered, the director's voice suddenly rang out. Time's up. Male and female guests can unlock the chain now. With a sharp click, the chain popped open. Lee Jio lit up like a kid on Christmas morning and bolted like a 200-pound sprinter. But Pei Shirsi suddenly called out to stop her. Lee Jio turned back, baffled. What now, peacock? I just want to get away from this social death scene. To her surprise, Pei Shirsi actually looked shy. Xiao Jiu, how about a date tomorrow? Lee Jio stared at him like he'd lost his mind. After 22 years, you've finally gone crazy? Did you forget we're sworn enemies? Who the hell asks their enemy out on a date? Pei Shirsi sighed, glanced at her, and after a pause admitted, we're filming a dating show. Gotta follow the rules and ask a female guest out, right? Hearing that, Lee Jio had no choice but to agree. After all, she was a professional actress. Pei Shirsi hadn't expected her to say yes so easily. His grin spread wide as he leaned closer. 2 o'clock tomorrow. I'll pick you up. Back in her room, Lee Jio thought she could finally enjoy a hot shower. But disaster struck. The director had shut off the hot water. Jiang Feng, I swear I'll never forgive you.